Alright guys, this is a video about Fallout and all the videos about how they're disappointed, all the reviews that they're disappointed. Generally the game is loved by most people, but there's a good, a good number of people who think it's a disappointment or blah 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 blah. Now, if you don't like it as much as the other Fallouts, I have really nothing to say to you, honestly. But this is my opinion. Okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I just feel like there is reasons people are disappointed rather than the game itself. It's not really. I think it's more of the people playing it. I think it's their mindset, honestly. Fallout 4, I've been playing since Christmas, so it's been about 3 months. Off and on, of course. I mean, I haven't played it constantly. But I would say generally I would at least play it once a week. But I play it pretty much every day, or at least every other day, for a while anyway. Here lately, I've been playing it consistently. I haven't played it today yet, but I'm pretty sure I will. It to me, I'll just say this: I haven't beat it yet, so I can't tell you now. For anybody saying the main story or certain other stories, I can only review this game at. It's not an official review or anything. It's just more of, I guess, impressions video or maybe a general review or something like that. Well, so far, and all I can really tell you is what I've seen so far. So if you have any disappointments beyond that, that's on you. That's something I can't discuss. Now we're going to discuss what I have encountered, and that's pretty much, I would say, most of the stuff. Uh, I just did the railroad. I just discovered the railroad. Wasn't the main quest. I mean, it seems like it would be connected to the main quest at one point, but at least main quest wise, I haven't heard of the railroad. So I'm in my head, I'm guessing they probably have something to do with the main quest because you know it kind of links together. Um. Anyways, main quest wise, I think the last quest I did was the fort, finding the person that was a part of the plot. I guess that's not really a spoiler because it's the beginning of the game. But the person who kidnaps your son, I pretty much find him. One of the people, anyways, involved. And anyway, so that's as far as I've gotten story wise. But I've played several side missions, a lot of fetch quests. Now, a lot of people probably assume the fetch quests are the only quest, or they think that's most of the quest, and that's not really true. It's just filler in case you want to, you haven't really found anything good. And there is a lot of filler, but you don't have to do it. So it's like bitching about filler in anime. It doesn't work because, I mean, yeah, if you're like watching it as it comes out, it sucks, but basically it's this: you don't have to watch it, you don't have to suffer through it. uh that's the way I see filler in every regard, period. Now, I do filler quests, fetch quests, minutemen quests here and there. They're pretty fun. If you don't have much time to kill and you just want to do something with maybe a little bit of reward, you got a guaranteed 100 bottle caps waiting for you. uh just do it. That's a good way. It's basically a good casual quest. If you have work in about an hour and you just want to do a few, settlement quests, go ahead and do it. Now, a lot of people bitching about the settlement quest, and yeah, there's a few in the main quest alone, but really you can ignore the gist of it. And I get tired of people bitching about it. It's like, they're like, oh, you can build. So what? You don't have to build for the majority of the game. You just have to do the little bit tutorial. So what? You have to learn a little bit. It ain't even that fucking complicated. It just so annoys me that people bitch about stuff they don't have to do. Now, if you just brush it off as, just some pointless stuff, fine. You don't like settlement stuff, whatever. That's for people who care about it. Me personally, I have invested days, well, maybe, well, yeah, probably days worth of uh, gameplay into just the settlements alone. Maybe weeks if you consider all the little things you do. Um, over time, like I had my base. I created my base at Sanctuary because that's where all my stuff was. Anyways, and for the longest time I was there, but then I just realized I want to try another quest since I knew a lot of people have this issue is they don't really realize the supply lines. They don't understand it until later in the game, and a lot of us are like that. But I didn't find out until probably like a month after or less that you can send your most of your items anyway, at least your junk, to any of the settlements. By as long as they have a person there. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do if there's like no people there or one person, but he's like a quest person. They can't be used as a supply liner person, whatever. You know, besides that, there's a few settlements I really can't get supplies at, so it kind of makes it a little difficult. But other than that, I basically took my base, I just butchered it. I was happy with it, but I wanted something a little more open, a little more expansive. Something I put a little more heart into. Because it was basically a big square, and I was like, I don't like the idea of just making a big square shack. I really wish you could build houses in the game, but that's a nitpick. Uh, I'm happy with what we have. And anyway, I took my sanctuary. I just destroyed it, and then I built at War. What was it, Warwick? Something. It's another settlement, and I wanted something to where it's like a little smaller and a little more compact, to where the entire area is stuff that I can really make my own, and that was pretty fun. I have a video. I think it probably is on YouTube. I think I uploaded it to YouTube recently. But basically, my settlements, I show off, and you'll see it. Anyway, it was a lot more fun just to rebuild, even though it was very hard to get material. But you scrap some trees here and there. You have your supply lines. It's pretty easy to do. It's pretty, at least for supplies. And for a second there, I was looking for my guns, and I was like, "What the fuck? Where's my guns?" You have to actually get your guns and armor and like miscellaneous and all that stuff, aid, ammo, stuff like that. You have to actually get yourself because it only sends the junk from my point. It's from my understanding. All right, enough with the settlement. So let's move on to the gameplay. The biggest thing that pisses me off that people say is it's a dumbed down game. It's Call of Duty, or it's just a shooter now. That pisses me off to no end because that is not true at all. It is not true in the least. The only thing that has been removed is the weapon condition, which that was kind of cool. That was kind of fun. I got addicted to whole scrapping other weapons and fusing them together in New Vegas, and I don't even know if that was in three, but it's been forever since I played three. I can only really compare it to New Vegas because I played that 6 months ago, or a little more than 6 months ago, and yeah, I played it late and it kind of sucks that Fallout was coming out so close because I just played New Vegas. I'm like, I want a little more time. Plus, I've never played a new Fallout next to a Fallout. I usually play like Elder Scrolls and then Fallout, and Elder Scrolls and Fallout. This is the first time where it's Fallout. New Vegas, I didn't want to play for the longest time because it looked like shit. I played it on PC, but it was lagging because my computer was dated at the time. It was back when I had my desktop, so it didn't really play that well. So I got kind of a bad vibe from it. And plus, it was pretty boring. The only thing really map wise that's good about that game is pretty much New Vegas and that area, in my opinion. Moving back to, let's talk about the RPGs, like I was about to say before I went off on my little spin off discussion. Yeah, people say it's dumbed down. That is not true at all because you still level up, you still upgrade, you still get perks, just like you did. It's just a different way you do it, and that's what pisses. I mean, that you cannot tell me that it's dumbed down at all. Like you still get the same benefits you do in all the other games. You still get XP the same way you get in other games. Okay. And um, the dialogue system. A lot of people bitch about that. That's probably the number one from even people who like the game. This is the number one complaint. Is and the way I see it is I don't play Fallout games for this overly drastically branching off, multi branching off uh storyline. I don't play it for that. I don't play it for different endings or different paths. And yeah, you can be an asshole, you can be nice, just like any other Fallout game. It's just it's compacted into more basic options, and I haven't had a problem with it. Yeah, you pretty much don't really have a probably a say uh, a different, uh, too much of a different way of changing the story yourself. But that's any game. Play Walking Dead. You think you do, and then you read online that no matter what you do, the game still pretty much sends you on the same path. That's any game. There's a very few. I think I heard Witcher is different. See, a lot of people compare Witcher. I think that's the number one reason why people are bitching about Fallout, because Witcher was pretty much a hidden gem, or not a hidden gem, a sleeper hit. Not even a sleeper hit, because people were expecting at least something from that game. It's just I don't think they was expecting it to be as good as it was, so it's kind of a sleeper hit. I haven't played it yet, so it don't really matter to me. And even if I did, it probably wouldn't be after The Witcher. I wouldn't play Fallout after The Witcher because I don't like to play open world games back to back. I usually like to play like a like a very linear shooter or platformer or something smaller, maybe a JRPG in between open world games. See, there's a lot of people that probably burn themselves out on it. It's the mindset. I mastered my mindset. I know how to enjoy everything. I only play games I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I might mistake and say, all right, I'm in the mood to play this, and like what I did with Jack 2. This will be my second time playing Jack 2 in my lifetime. I'm playing the HD version this time, and this time I just really couldn't get into it. It was my mindset. I don't hate the game. I just wasn't in the mood to play it, so I stopped. And I haven't really went back to it yet, but I do plan on the future. It just wasn't I wasn't in the mood to play that type of game. And, whatever. And that's the way I feel like a lot of people with Fallout are, or they burn out on the whole system. And maybe that's not true. Maybe you have your own opinions, but I think it's deep down that's at least something to do with it. Um, you could disagree and comment below if let me know, or make a video response. And the thing is that Fallout is the way I see it. Fallout 4 is an improvement in every way. Now there is less. It's a little harder to find good quests, but you go out and search the world. It gives you more exploration. You'll go out and explore that world, and you'll find random quests that's pretty deep. Like I found the submarine mission that was pretty fun and pretty story based, and kind of gave me a kind of an understanding of the other parts of the world in Fallout, which I never knew before. That was pretty cool, and it felt like a traditional side quest in Fallout that's good and depth. Um, you know, you, to me, the worst Fallout game is New Vegas. I mean, 3 was a masterpiece at the time. That was my favorite. My other, I had 3 favorite games. Okay, Final Fantasy 9, Saints Row 2, and Fallout 3. Now I'm switching it from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4 because Fallout 4 is just a better game. Story wise, it's good. It's better shot, or it's better produced, or what I don't know the word, but basically it looks better, and that's really what matters. I don't know how the story ends up, but I got kind of a few spoilers here and there. But I'm enjoying the story so far. I love the characters. I love the way they act. It looks better than ever. It's more cinematic. There we go. It's more cinematic than ever. That's what I like about it. So it's only an improvement over Fallout. Plot alone doesn't. A lot of nerds on the internet. I'm a geek, so I don't. It's not really an offensive term. I'm not like name calling y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just uh, what you call it, generalizing a certain audience. But nerds on the internet, they seem to they go by plot. At least with anime fans, I guess that's what I noticed, that they care more about plot than anything. They care about more of an original plot or something that is interesting more than anything. And me, I've always been different. I've always had an unpopular opinion, as I've said in the many videos I've made. But that's really the way I've always seen a lot of people on the internet. They care more about the plot than anything. That to me is one of the fewest important things to me, because a plot, to, ain't that, I don't really get surprised. I usually predict the plot anyway, so I'm never really that surprised. And if it's too convoluted or confusing, it really bores me, because it's like you have to really think. Like, I've just watched The Shining. That shit made no sense. I mean, if anybody watched The Shining, let me know what the fuck that was about. The picture at the end. I watched that recently. Me and my fiance, we both watched it. We was like, what the fuck? It was still a pretty good movie for what it was. It just never fucking made sense. And I can't really call it a classic for that reason. I mean, it was really well shot. I'm going off topic here, but it really, it pisses me off that it made no damn sense. Uh, it's like you would have to have the mindset of the director or the Stephen King, who wrote the book, to really understand the movie or the book, for that matter. I heard the book's a little different, but still. Um, yeah, it made no sense. But basically, it's this: plot alone doesn't matter. My favorite animes are Bleach, Dragon Ball, the original, and Dragon Ball Z. They're both really good. It doesn't really matter which one's better, but I prefer Dragon Ball. And I love Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, which I got one third through. Before I quit watching and I started over. Now I'm watching Naruto again. But basically, the reason I love these animes and shows and everything, even Supernatural, I'm rewatching, it's not the plot. The plot's great, but it's just most of the time it's kind of generic. Good versus evil, maybe somebody killed you, and they have some little bit of creative in them. It's not totally original, it's not totally new, or not original, whatever. But basically, um, it's not the story that gets me, it's the characters. It's the ride, the comedy, the drama. I love that stuff. It's more of how they act and how they interact with each other, the chemistry, or the characters, and it's just stuff like that. And video game wise, it's pretty much the gameplay, the addictive factor, the time, how quickly it gets old or not old, or how much time can you spend on this game. Fallout 4 has not gotten old. I enjoy it just as much as I did when I first started playing it. This is for three or so months after I started. I'd say two, I think, altogether. About three. It's about three now. But yeah, it's almost exactly 3 months. Um, but I cannot believe how long I've been playing Fallout. This is probably one of the longest games I've ever played since Skyrim. Um, and that's just because I had to keep starting over, because my sister would start a new game and that would automatically save over my old game. And the autosave was the only other one, and I would autosave and I would have to start over. I had to start over 3 times. It pissed me off so bad. That was probably the most pissed off I got. But yeah, especially the third time or second time. I might not have been three, but it was a lot. Yeah, I had to keep starting over. Never let anybody play Skyrim. That is shit. Unless you have a second save. Uh, but yeah, that really sucked. Anyway, or they have to be on another profile. But I keep going off topic here. But it really, what was I talking about? Yeah, but a lot of people talk about the plot alone, and that don't matter to me. If you ever argue with me in the comment section or a video or Facebook or whatever, you just know, as me, plot does not matter to me. It's how the plot is portrayed. It's how the characters react with it. That's what matters to me. And game wise, like I said, the gameplay, the all that stuff. Let's see what else. The graphics. The graphics are good. I don't complain. They're not. I'm not expecting fucking was it Forza graphics because it's more to it than fucking cars and tracks. There's an open world here, and yeah, you can argue The Witcher 3 is beautiful, but to me it looks a little better. But not, it's not like a night and day difference. I mean, a lot of people saying, "Oh, it looks like a Fallout 3." Go look at Fallout 3. Go look at New Vegas. Go look at those graphics, non-modded. If there's a mod that makes it look that much better, like the Morrowind mod for Oblivion, I remember, made it look drastically better. A non-modded fucking Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. Now, New Vegas didn't look any better than 3 from what I remember. It probably did, but I remember thinking this looks about the same. Fallout 4 looks really good. It don't look like, the best looking game, but I don't really care. The thing is, it looks good. That's all I can really ask for. The animations are better. The gunplay is better. That's what matters. That's what I got excited for. Not the fucking damn graphics. I was hoping for no load screens. That would have been nice. But whatever. The What makes it an improvement in every way is all the junk. It has a purpose. Let's not even mention the settlements. That's just a little side thing. That can be an improvement for people who care about that kind of stuff. But let's just talk about as Fallout core fans who don't care about that kind of stuff. The gunplay is better. The perks are still there. Maybe there's less, little weird perks there. I don't know. I don't really remember getting any weird perks besides the robot one, but that's still in there. Eating corpses, the cannibal perk, still have that. All the ones I remember will still have, so I don't really see the point of saying we have less. I don't care about the little weird ones. Getting healed in the sunlight, I believe that's still there. The nighttime one, that's still there. Uh, there's a few new ones, so that's cool. So generally, in all the, you still get better gun control or better. You're better at guns, or certain guns, and you also can upgrade the guns themselves. So that makes it even more addicting. I love the fucking modifications, the customizations of guns. That is the biggest, probably. That's way better than just leveling up, because you have a more hands-on feel for it. It doesn't feel like it's just some Call of Duty game where you buy parts and you just connect them. You feel like you actually build the gun. That's what makes it awesome because you can take old, a good, kind of a mediocre weapon, but it has a better scope than your current one. You can take that shit off, put it on your new one. You have a better scope. You can scrap it for screws or some shit, or you can sell it. There's so many things you can do, and it's so time consuming. I like the fact that you can only wait uh, by sitting down. I like that because it gives you kind of more of a reason to sit down. It gives purpose to sitting down. You get purpose for getting junk. You get purpose for almost everything has purpose now. That is the number one thing that makes this the best Fallout game. Everything has purpose. Everything matters. And people overlook that because there's some songs from the old games and the graphics aren't cutting edge, or some of the quests are fetch quests. Who gives a shit? You don't level up the same way. It's Call of Duty now because you get to move your gun a little easier. It's not a stick. Yeah, I'm complaining about the fucking fact that I can move my gun freely. That's pretty much what you're doing. I'm taking it out of context, but you know, no, that's pretty much what I get from it is people fucking using the gun freely now, a little more fluid, and it just moves like a real, not as good as maybe a Call of Duty game, but it moves pretty damn good. I can shoot pretty much everything except unless like a feral ghoul who's coming at me real quick. I usually use my melee weapon for them, but um, yeah, basically it's that. The gameplay is good enough to where you don't need these weird perks to have this strategy. Oh, the lack of strategy. I've heard that too. The strategy is still there. It's the hardest Fallout game. out of all of them. Not counting the two, the first two. I never played those. Those are old, or kind of old. I don't know how old they are. We're not talking about those. We're talking about three, New Vegas. You know, because one and two are different games pretty much. So there's really no point. They're pretty much spin-off games in my opinion. Because the current ones are the ones that's ongoing, so it really don't matter which ones the first two were. But yeah, basically, I'm getting tired of people bitching about the little stuff that don't really matter, or taking the. What I don't like is the misinformation. The misinformation that people spew, saying it's dumbed down or it's stuff that it's not. It's like Call of Duty and stuff like that. It really pisses me off. There's really nothing about it that's dumbed down. It's only improved. Like I said, I've already mentioned all this stuff. Everything has purpose now. Sitting down, weapons. You can't build. I heard somebody bitching about you can't make your ammo, which I barely remember in New Vegas, but whatever. Who cares? You build guns now, and you can say it's modification. I don't give a shit. You're still primarily modifying guns to upgrade. You get perks to upgrade, better. Sometimes you don't even have to. Sometimes you can kind of find a better weapon that you're not skilled enough to get. You're not skilled enough to get that scope. So you can take the weapon that you find with that scope that you're not able to build, take it off, put that some bitch on your current weapon that's already upgraded, and there you go. You can bypass that shit. There's like thinking, that's strategy. Fighting enemies. You can throw grenades like any other fucking game. There's strategy. You shoot. You fucking throw grenades. You run away. You decoy them with your companion. You can use some of those weird perks. That's all of them. All of the Fallout games have been that way. Well, the last two, anyway. We're not talking about the first two. 3 wasn't like the first two. New Vegas, I heard, was only about the factions. I don't care about the factions. The factions sucked, in my opinion, because they basically, if you sided with one, you fucking was hated by everybody else. Because I, just happened to be with the NCR in New Vegas, and then I couldn't be with the Brotherhood because I was hated by everybody, and I wanted to be with both. Why did they have to hate each other? Whatever. I mean, I know they have different sides, they have different purposes, but they don't have to fucking hate each other to the point where they're shooting you on sight just because you're wearing their fucking armor. Oh, that's so much better having the factions. Yeah, bullshit. My goddamn nerve. I'm joking around, obviously, but no, I mean, it's not for me. You have your opinions and I have mine, but can honestly somebody please tell me how it is worse in any way? The karma system, okay, I give you that. Okay, you can act like an asshole and you can still be loved by everybody. It don't really matter to me. I don't. It's a video game. There's a lot of little things that really nothing is completely realistic. You don't really have to eat unless you're hurt. You can go if you was like unhurt, or do you just happen to rest every time you got hurt? You would never have to eat. So where's the realism in that? You're not eating for a certain amount of time, or stim packs, or if you're using stim packs. Yeah, so that's basically it. There's a lot of little unrealistic things. Stop nitpicking at the little things that's like, oh, this ain't realistic. Oh, let's list everything that's not realistic in Fallout. Let's list the fact that there's fucking, or, well, it's a different world. I can't really say that there's monsters because it's a different timeline. But yeah, that's all they really say. I don't think they ever say it's a mythical version of Earth because there's robots and there's monsters. Radiation. Radiation wouldn't create no damn Murlocs or whatever. maybe the giant roaches probably, but I don't know. A lot of this is like Incredible Hulk territory. But that you give you what's the word? You turn your brain off. You believe this shit. You get engulfed in this world. You don't think about the realistic shit. You don't think about anything else. Yeah, if it's so bad, it's so fucking blatantly obvious, and they take themselves super seriously, it's kind of hard to take them seriously. But they don't. They're so like just a Fallout game. You're having fun. Stop nitpicking everything. You damn nerds. There is fun to be had in this game. And if you're not having fun, chances are you played Witcher first, and you're comparing it, and comparing it makes anything worse. Trust me. I could. That's why I had to rebuy GTA 5 4. I didn't play it for years. The only reason I bought it this time was to play 5, and I had to take my mindset to play GTA 4, and I had to realize what I'm playing it for, not for the overall experience like a traditional GTA. I compared it to Saints Row 2 for the longest time. I could not get into GTA 4 for that reason. It just was a worse game, and it still is to me. But I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more. This thing was last year or the year before when I replayed it and actually beat it. Uh, and it was okay. It still had the same problems the first time, but I went into it not caring about those kind of things and enjoying what the game did right, which was the action and the epic missions. That's what the game did right. The open world sucked. The characters sucked, in my opinion, of course. And there was nothing to do. It was very dull. It was very dark, but not in the good kind of dark. It was it was the boring kind of gritty. It was just dull. And especially the characters. That was probably the worst part. The thing that turned me off the worst. The only good thing about that game, non-mission wise, to me, was the TV. Watching the TV episodes, that was pretty entertaining. There was some funny stuff with the stand-up comedians and the commercials. I really enjoyed that. But other than that, the missions, if they weren't action packed, there's a lot of fucking backtracking. They didn't have no checkpoint system. That drove me nuts. Oh my god, that drove me nuts. Especially if you had to replay the mission 2 or 3 times. Oh my god. Oh, but anyway, that's all I got to say about Fallout. I had a lot to say. I didn't think this video would go over 30 minutes long. I apologize, but that's the thing that especially with me going off track a lot. But that's why I have such a problem with the Fallout hate or disappointments, and not even really hate. There's nobody really hates Fallout. There's a lot of people that's just disappointed or just thinks it's worse. People end up beating it anyway. There's a lot of other things I have to say. I'll leave it for if y'all have any questions or if y'all make a video, I'll make another video to that or a comment or something. I'll do something. But basically, any further things I have to say, I'll just leave it out because this video has gone on too long. Thanks for watching, guys. If you made it to the end of this video, awesome. I doubt anybody will because it is 33 minutes long. But hey, I had a lot to say.